history, and exploration. That's what's up on this edition of Joyful Trails. Even as a kid, exploration is one of the main things I loved about riding a bicycle. I grew up in South Alabama in a time free of pagers and cell phones, a time that predated helicopter parenting, a time when your parents would send you outside to play, not stick an iPad in your face. Parents would set kids free to explore the world around them, often not knowing exactly where the kids were. We did not live in a world of bike helmets, peanut allergies, and fear of abduction. Most often our only instructions were, be careful and be home by dinner time. That sense of adventure and exploration is something I've never outgrown. To explore is to travel in or through an unfamiliar area in order to learn about or familiarize oneself with it. Well, I set out to ride the Cayce Riverwalk in Cayce, South Carolina back in August of 2023 and ended up on something called the Timmerman Trail. How? What? How did I get there? What is that? We're going to talk about that, but first, what's a Cayce? Where's that? Cayce is a city in the South Carolina Midlands, very close to the capital city, Columbia. Situated on the Congaree River, Cayce boasts a population of 13,789 Americans and covers 17.6 square miles. Spanish explorer Hernando de Soto reached the area in 1540, encountering a large Indian village at Congaree Creek, where Cayce now stands. In 1718, during the colonial period, some dudes from England built the first permanent fort, the first structure built in the Midlands of South Carolina. A second fort was built on the river in 1748. These became known as Congaree Fort No. 1 and Congaree Fort No. 2. Not the catchiest names. For a while, the area was given the name Granby, but eventually the town was incorporated in 1914 and given the name Cayce after businessman William J. Cayce. Today it's a modern city with hometown charm and a great place to raise families. The Cayce River Arts District is described as a perfect hub and doorway to all things creative. You can enjoy art studios, pottery classes, food and drink, live music, and more. Also of interest in Cayce is the Columbia Speedway, the Tennis Center, and South Carolina's first Chinese immersion elementary school, East Point Academy. I can speak a little Chinese, but not much. I can say mugu gai pan and shrimp fried rice. But that's about it. But enough about Cayce. We've got a trail to ride. It's the Timmerman Trail. Let's explore, shall we?
Everyone needs a shoulder to cry on. Everyone needs a helping hand. Everyone needs someone to rely on. Yes, everyone needs a friend. So let's come together, celebrate each other, stand united as one. We lift our hands up and pray, lay all our love before Him with all of our faith. He is the change within us, there is a light, let Him lead the way. Lift our hands up and pray today, oh pray. Everyone needs somebody to lean on. Everyone needs someone who cares. If we come together as one, help each other get stronger, we are bound in the name come together. Yeah, let's come together. We'll lift our hands up and pray. Lay all our love before Him with all of our faith. He is the change within us. There is a light. Let Him lead the way. Lift our hands up and pray today. Oh, pray. Oh, pray. Oh, pray. Oh, pray.
If you like what you've seen so far, church, I want you to turn to your neighbor and say, I like it. And then like it. Give it a thumbs up. Now turn to your other neighbor and say, I subscribed to Joyful Trails and you should too. Amen and amen. And don't forget to give a good offering. No, I'm just kidding about the offering part. This channel is free. Can you believe it? Stay tuned for our exclusive Joyful Trails star rating. But first, let's explore this trail. All right, so I was in the Midlands that day to ride the Cayce Riverwalk and the West Columbia Riverwalk. So how did I end up on the Timmerman Trail? Well, you see, what had happened was I got to the southern end of the Cayce Riverwalk and it seemed to keep going. So I pulled up my trusty All Trails app and it took me through a residential neighborhood, along city streets, past this sign, and past this church, until eventually the trail picked back up again. So I just kept riding and bada bing, bada boom, the Cayce Riverwalk turned into the Timmerman Trail. The Timmerman Trail is described on the interwebs as a 3.5 mile hiking and biking loop through the woods and around Congaree Creek. Named after former governor and segregationist Democrat George Bell Timmerman Jr., it's a concrete paved walkway that's great for runners, walkers, cyclists, and nature lovers. Keep an eye out for snakes, alligators, and other wildlife. I didn't see any, but there are alligator warning signs posted. Also, a lot of people complain online about bugs and mosquitoes. Again, not a problem for me. Mosquitoes like me about as much as women do, which is to say, not very much. There's lots of peace and quiet on this trail, but even more history. And this part cannot be overstated. If you are a history buff, especially military history, you will enjoy your visit to this trail. There are lots and lots of historical markers and placards detailing what took place on these grounds during both the American Revolution and the Civil War. There is a real sense as you ride this trail that you're on sacred ground, so to speak. You can almost feel the weight of the historic events that took place here. And then there's this bridge over the Congaree Creek. This bridge is a bit of a showstopper in my estimation. It's fairly lengthy, definitely a focal point for the trail, offering nice views of Congaree Creek. And if you would like to ride this trail without just accidentally stumbling on it like I did, riding through Mom and Nim's neighborhood, there is a dedicated trailhead at the southern end. You can seek that out. So what do we think about the Timmerman Trail? Well, we like it. We love that bridge and the peaceful serenity of the trail. It's well maintained and seems to be sort of a well-kept secret. But if you love history, you definitely need to plan a visit and take your time reading the many signs along the way. 3 stars for the Timmerman Trail in Cayce, South Carolina. By the way, you might also plan to stop by the Cayce Historical Museum to check out American Indian, colonial, Revolutionary War, and Civil War artifacts. Now get out there and enjoy today.